Hello and welcome to episode 48 of Character Unlock. You sick fucks, why are you still listening to us? I'm hosting, John, and with me is Brooker. Brooks, how are you?
I'm alright, mate. I'm alright. Until about half an hour ago, I was going to be going to the cinema tonight and doing the midnight screening of Ant-Man. Then I fell asleep after dinner and went, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man's coming out. Yay.
Finally.
Fucking World Cup.
Yeah. Well, I usually do, like the Marvel films, I usually do with former workmate. We go and see them together. Yeah, kind of alternating between Odeon and Cineworld, because he goes to one and I go to the other. But actually, we went out last week to watch Mission Impossible. Suddenly realised that Ant-Man was this week, and we just haven't had time to fucking organise it. Otherwise, we'd be recording this tomorrow night.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, I'll catch it at the weekend or something. I don't know. I was at the cinema until late last night.
Some point in the future.
Yeah. There's no rush. It'll be there for a while.
Exactly. It's a fucking Marvel film. Although, to be fair, the last Marvel film didn't really stay in the cinema for that long.
Which one? Avengers? Was Avengers the
Yeah,
last
it was. I think Avengers was the last one.
Yeah,
It didn't have that long a run.
No,
it wasn't as long as Black Panther.
No, but Black Panther was, even in its last week, like 3 months after release, it was still packing out cinemas. You know,
Yeah.
the Marvel films do well, but they've never done that well. But yeah, and Ant-Man will be around a couple of weeks. I'll catch it the weekend or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna book the midday showing of Ant-Man and just go on my way home from work.
Yeah, why not? How about you, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I mean, not a lot's really happened at all since the last time.
No, mate, we are in the midst of the single most boring summer drought we've had in quite a while. I mean, we've talked about the summer drought before and kind of laughed at how sad and pathetic it is, but
Yeah, this
one
time
it's so
actually
boring.
sad and pathetic.
There's nothing happening. There's no news. There's no games. It's like the entire games industry has taken a summer break, which is great. Except I want to play some games and I want to talk about stuff, and there's nothing to play or talk about.
But it's a really good thing that I've got a new console to play all the games that have happened this year since. So I have that to my credit.
That's good. You can keep us going for this week, then, mate. I'll let you.
I'm probably going to have to, considering the games that you've put this week.
Well, yeah, the games I played this week, yeah, they're not going to. One of them's, well, one is worth talking about, but I want to talk about it after I finished it. So I'll talk about it briefly today, and then actually try and finish it in the next 2 weeks. But before we do that,
We have to talk about some news after you guzzle down a gallon of the beverage of your choice.
coffee, always coffee.
I don't know, you mentioned tea earlier. I got really confused. I didn't realise you were the same person.
Well, no, the thing was that I was making a cup of coffee, as I always do before we start recording, and I offered a cup of tea. I said to the wife, "Do you want a cup of tea?" Because I'm polite like that, and I always offer, mainly because she always says no. But this time she said yes, and I was like, "Oh shit!
What a bitch.
I best go make fucking tea."
Please don't tell her I called her a bitch.
I don't know if she listens to this. The look she's just
Maya,
given
I'm
me
sorry.
says she's probably going to listen to it to see what you just said.
Can you apologise to her, please, right now?
John said he's very, very sorry. Oh, dude, you're dead. I might be dead in place of you as well, the look I'm getting.
As long as she starts with you, I've got a head start.
True. You forget she knows where you live.
It's true. Although she's only been here twice. Both on the same day. She's probably forgotten where. I mean, you barely remember where I live, even
True.
though you've been to mine several times.
Well, your fucking house just looks like all the others. I drive away, which one is yours? I'm just going to just get out here and find your own house. I'm going home.
It doesn't help that it's like number 300 on a street of like 600.
I know, it's ridiculous.
So, let's go with the very, very lacking of news that we've got for the lovely audience, and that we have a game that's gone gold, meaning that it's now being printed to discs, and apparently people still buy discs frequently enough that becomes, actual newsworthy because digital.
Well, I think it's more it's news. It's gone gold. Games finished and gone to publishers.
Yeah.
Whether your purchase of choice is physical or digital, the game's ready, and actually I get to eat my words because I said no, that release date will never ever ever happen.
Yeah. But it means the game's gone gold, which means they've now started to work on day one patch.
Yeah. Well, no, the game's gone gold, which means they started working on day one patch 2 weeks ago. They're probably working on the DLC now.
That's true. Yeah. So, Spider-Man, the game, not to be confused with the other Spider-Man games that were based on the Spider-Man movies, or the other Spider-Man games that weren't based on Spider-Man movies.
The new Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That follows the same pattern as every reboot ever and just gives it the original name. Like Spider-Man, God of War. They've all got the same name now. Doesn't matter.
Does this fulfill Sony's contract for needing to put Spider-Man out in order to maintain the license?
I mean, I don't know. I would go ahead and say probably not.
No, probably not.
There will probably be something about tie-ins there somewhere, but yeah, I don't think they're worrying too much about that now that Marvel's all in making Spider-Man films that also include, Iron Man.
Yep. Because that's all Robert Downey Jr. is willing to act in now, is being the cameo appearance in teen dramas.
Well, I mean, if you were making that kind of money for that little work, wouldn't you?
True. I mean, he is Tony Stark.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't think the film contract has anything to do with the game contract. Although I guarantee you, someone is playing Spider-Man the game in the next Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, probably.
They'll
probably shoehorn it in some way.
Oh, yeah, a bit like in House of Cards for like the first 2 seasons. Kevin Spacey was always playing something Sony.
Yeah.
Between his Vita and his PS4, he was playing something to advertise Sony, and then he got fired for inappropriately touching other men.
Yep. But it's alright because he was gay.
Yeah.
As was his excuse.
That's a weird tangent.
Yep.
But yeah, Spider-Man finally going gold is cool, because I did say I didn't believe that September release date was going to happen. It looks like it actually is now.
Yeah.
So,
means it'll probably be playable at EGX that we're now probably not going to go to.
Yeah, I can't be asked of EGX. And I kind of sat there, I was talking to my brother about it, because my brother was talking about going up for the Sunday. I was like, well, we'll just go up for the Sunday. We'll jump on the train and we'll go up and we'll have a few games or something and we'll come back. And I looked this morning and all the day tickets for all the early access day tickets are sold out. I'm like, well, I'm not fucking going in there at 11 o'clock in the morning. Just no. So
just keep your super pass.
What a waste of time.
Yeah. Turn up on the Sunday and go, can I have my super pass ticket, please?
Just for today.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, EGX I'll probably just will skip out on completely and just get that weekend back.
Yeah.
To be fair, I might just kind of take the Monday, Tuesday off and go visit my tattooist instead.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I might take the Monday and Tuesday off myself and just go up north.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Might as well. I might as well use up the holiday I have to do the job that I currently do.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Spider-Man will probably be playable at EGX, be pointless because isn't Spider-Man released at like 5th of September or something?
Yeah, it's like when they put Destiny at EGX on it. Like DLC comes out like 3 weeks beforehand, and you go, but then people spend ages queuing up to play Destiny that's already out.
Yeah, I don't get it. So yes, are you buying Spider-Man because you've got a PS4 now, haven't you? So will you buy Spider-Man, or will that be a rental?
That's a rent. That's a rental.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. It really does, but it's not a property that interests me that much.
No. Well, it's the fact I have an argument every single time I speak games with one of the guys that I used to work with, in that he constantly says that the Xbox is a dead console, that the PlayStation's got exclusives, it's got Spider-Man, And then he just starts reaming off exclusives, and I'm just like, "Do you play any of these?" And he says, "No." And I said, "Have you played like the greatest exclusive that Sony have ever put out in The Last of Us?" And he says, "No." And I said, "You're not a Sony fan, are you?"
That sounds like somebody who's just there for the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all know
But
people like that.
he's never played Infamous, has never played Killzone. It's like he didn't play The Last of Us. He talks about Uncharted as if it's the greatest game of all time, but I don't know if you even think he's played it. He's probably going to get Spider-Man, but I don't know whether he's going to pay for it.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
bit of a knob.
Yeah. No, I will. I will rent Spider-Man only because I'm not. It's not like I said. It's not a property that interests me. But B, I'm not sure I'll have the time to get into it. If it turns out to be amazing, I'll go out and buy it. I'm buying too many games back end of the year.
Just wait 4 years for it to go on to PlayStation Plus, like all of the really good exclusives.
Yeah.
Unless it tanks miserably, which is possible.
Oh God, no! It's never going to happen. Even if it gets 1s and 2s in review, it will still make its money back in day one sales.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about that.
I don't know, maybe 1s and 2s probably would. If it was like, because 1s and 2s means it's actually, horrendous, because most people look at, say, bad review is like a 7.
Yeah.
If you put a fucking 1 or a 2 on it, then people will probably go, oh, okay, maybe, yeah, this may actually be bad.
Nah, people still wouldn't believe it.
No.
They still wouldn't believe it.
No, they see Spider-Man, they just assume it's going to be Spider-Man 2, which
Yeah.
was the greatest Spider-Man game of all.
I'll take your word for that.
I'm just I don't actually know. I'm just repeating what most people have said to me.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of other Spider-Man games that have come out that have had like zero traction whatsoever.
Well, yeah, but that was around the same time as Spider-Man as a franchise had no traction whatsoever as well, wasn't it?
True. Spider-Man being back with the Marvel Universe could be quite interesting. But I'm seeing Spider-Man the game being very Deadpool the game, in that you will get to a point where you're just starting to hear the same lines over and over.
Yeah, I could see that probably happening. Is it open world, new Spider-Man?
Have they shown enough about Spider-Man?
I've got no idea. They've shown like 2 or 3 sections of gameplay.
They've shown 3 trailers, and half of them look 80% cutscenes.
Yeah, but I will be honest and say I've not looked that deep into it. Again, I'll just go, yeah, I'll rent it when it comes out and play it, but I don't really care enough to go searching, find out what it's about or who's in it. Some of it looks interesting. Yeah, I don't care that much. But everybody that's playing it is raving about it, so there must be something to it.
Probably. So, as we're talking about Sony exclusives, let's talk about the naughty Sony exclusive studio.
Yeah, Quantic Dream.
We knew there was a reason we didn't like Quantic Dream.
Well, this is just another fucking... I mean, this is the worst of both worlds, this one, isn't it? This is the very, very long, ongoing story of just developers being cunts to work for. And then the whole sexual harassment in the workplace thing that's appeared. Appeared is the wrong word. It's kind of come to the forefront the last, year?
Yeah.
So yeah, good old Quantic Dream. Never failing to disappoint.
No, they certainly don't.
So they've lost a lawsuit, haven't they?
Yeah.
A former employee was suing them over some, was it doctored, photoshopped images of like, rude images of them, kind of
Yeah, it's like
to other staff.
His face on the body of things that probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Your typical workplace banter.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Who doesn't go to work and expect them to have their face put onto gay porn?
Yep.
Woohoo. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Quantic Dream, and David Cage is a bit of a twat. But yeah, I hope that the guy that's girl, whoever that's suing them, I hope he takes them for all their money.
Yeah.
and Quantic Dream disappear. This day and age, you can't allow shit like that to happen at work.
No, no. It's quite horrendous what's happened, and the poor bloke really didn't deserve to get that treatment.
No.
It's like he's doing a job that he loves. He's probably not getting paid a ridiculous amount of money because he's willing to accept that for the fact that he's in an industry that he wants to work in.
Yeah.
But I mean, who
that's the
doesn't
thing.
want to work in video games?
That's kind of like the underlying. Everyone has that same story as well. I'm working my dream job, and wanted to deal with it because I wanted to keep working in my dream job. Dream job or not, man, fuck that. Absolutely fuck that. You know, I know it's easy for me to say, being a white guy who's never had that happen to me at work and probably never will. But fucking hell, just it's completely unacceptable, and I'm so glad that this person won their lawsuit. And
Yeah.
I would not be unhappy for it to be the end of Quantic Dream or David Cage as a game director.
Yeah. Maybe you could get a job with Activision. They speak French.
Yeah, you can go work for Ubisoft.
Yeah, go there.
Yeah, I haven't got much else to say
Probably
about
have to
Quantic
move
Dream,
to Canada to do
honest.
that. So minor-ish news, I guess, is that we've had another announcement regarding Destiny 2. Thought I'd throw this one in.
I'll go on then.
Yeah, yesterday they announced that there's the Legendary Collection for Destiny 2 Forsaken, which is Destiny 2 Forsaken DLC plus copy of Destiny 2 and all of the Year 1 DLC as well, plus some other exclusive special skins and emotes that you can only get in the Legendary Edition, which is, I believe, exclusive to game in this country.
Okay.
And there was one other thing, and I can't remember what it was now. Can't be that important. It wasn't a big news story. It was just like, no, it's gone.
No.
This is why I should write things down.
Yeah.
So that pops us on to a what we've been playing, and we're both going to roughly and briefly talk about two titles, one of us being slightly more successful than the other one at playing these games. But
oh god, I found the pictures from the Quantic Dream thing.
why did you go looking for them?
Well, they're linked in a news article on Variety. Holy shit, dude, they're not okay. Like, really not okay. This dude needs to take his fuckers for everything they got. Sorry, let's carry on.
Don't put those as part of the 4 images you put out on our...
Yeah, even I'm not that fucking stupid. Anyways, sorry mate, carry on.
Yeah, what we've been playing, Brooks. And the fact that you were quite poor at playing a specific EA Sports title that's free.
Well, so I kind of want to try it and get into watching ice hockey, just because I want to try. I've got myself a free trial to NHL TV, and you know, because we've got what is supposed to be a relatively decent local hockey team.
Yeah.
But the
Actually,
thing,
before you go into that, that's actually quite. When I was playing NHL myself, I actually went looking to see if I could get tickets to watch the local team play, but they weren't going to play at Milton Keynes for like 3 more months.
yeah.
So I was like, oh well. By that time, I'd have completely forgotten about it. So
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm not planning on like going and seeing them tomorrow. But what I kind of thought was they're decently priced because they're a local team, so I can get tickets for like me and the wife and the kid. You can go see them for like 25 quid for the 3 of us. Perfect. You know. So what I wanted to do the whole Madden thing. I wanted to play EA NHL and just see what happened draft wise and see what team I'd be supporting, because I know fuck all about hockey. you know, if you want me to name you 3 hockey teams, I maybe could, and all of them would be the really, really big names. You know, the ones that if you say you support these, it's a bit like me calling myself a Patriot supporter. People just assume I'm a Patriot supporter because
You're a dick.
Because New England Patriots. You know,
Yeah, because England's in the name.
because England's in the name, or because they're Super Bowl winning, or because they're just one of the most famous teams in the world.
They are the most successful franchise.
Yeah.
So
what I didn't want to do was go, oh, I'm a Detroit Red Wings fan, and people go, oh, yeah, Red Wings, or a New York Rangers fan, go, oh, Rangers and Patriots. And you just follow the ones that are really big names. Oh, well, no, I thought.
I think New England has a team.
Yeah, the Bruins, Boston Bruins.
Yeah, the Bruins.
Their team colours are black and gold, and I am not supporting. I can't. If I could not wear a black and gold jersey if I start wearing hockey jerseys. Fuck that. But so I thought, you know what? I'll install EA NHL 18 because I've got it on EA Access. It's free. I'll give it a go, dude. I couldn't get through the motherfucking tutorial. It is. I don't know. Maybe I do joke that I'm too old to watch and play hockey just because I never know where the fucking puck is. But mate, I'm playing this fucking game going, I've got no idea what you're asking me to do. The controls are all over the shop. I don't understand it. I kept changing them to try and make them easier, and they somehow got worse. Even though I then went back to the original ones and they were worse. It took me 45 minutes to score a goal.
Nice.
Like, seriously, I installed EA NHL, and when it said I could start, I was like, right, start it up, and let's go through the tutorial. So it's passing, and then it's shooting, and then it's pass shooting, and it goes, right, like all tutorials do for sports games. Now use all the skills you've learned to score 3 goals against the goalie and 2 defenders. It took me. At this point, I'm going, well, I need to pause it in a sec because I've got to put the kid to bed. So, wife's bathing Nikita, and they call me to say, come up, say goodnight, and read her a story. And that's why I pause it. At this point, I just turn it off, and I come back the next day, and I start playing, and I still can't score a goal. 20 minutes later, I turn it off because I've got to do the same again. Got to go say goodnight to the kid, and I come back down, and I turn it on again. And literally, it took me 3-4 days and about an hour just to score the 3 goals to move the tutorial on. And when I'd done that, I was like, oh, thank God we're done. And I was like, no, now defense. So, oh, fuck. So here we go. So yes, I can skate around people. I can do that. I can do the whole jigging the puck around with my stick. And then it says, what do they call it? Deking. It says, do this. So I do that. And it doesn't register that I'm doing it. I'm like, well, I can't be doing this wrong.
You can, and you did.
I'm doing this exactly how you're telling me to do it. It's just wiggle the fucking stick. And I'm wiggling the fucking stick and it's not fucking doing anything. At this point, my played game time is around 3 hours. And I've gone, I'm not fucking doing this anymore. And I uninstalled EA NHL, never to be installed again. Mate, I mean, I like to think I'm okay at most games. I could feel my way through most things. If I really felt I needed to, I could probably stick on FIFA and play. Now, I'm not quite so sure. Because I thought even I would be able to get through the fucking tutorial for an NHL game, but apparently not.
I got most of the way through my first season with NHL before getting bored of... Because what you're saying tutorial, you doing things wrong somehow despite it doing that, it doesn't change through the entire game. You will do things that it's telling you to do to earn a bonus XP for doing certain things and tricks and saying, oh yeah, do this 3 times in a match, like deke a couple of 3 times in a match, do no touch pass 3 times in a match, or just 3 times to get bonus XP. So you do it, Does it register that you've done it? Fuck off.
This is. But it's like when you play the tutorials for, say, let's say Madden tutorials, you can always get through them. You just fail them and it moves on. And you go, that's fine. When I get to actually playing the game, I
won't need to do these things.
I
I'll just throw the ball.
Exactly. I just won't worry about defending that much. I will make sure I just throw well enough to score 90 points before anybody even scores on me. You know, I'll be okay. But I couldn't even further the tutorial to this point, so I could get to a point where I could maybe just scam the game a little bit. I've never felt like such a fucking failure. I felt like handing in my consoles, going, this isn't me anymore. I'm going to go and claim my pension and start playing shuffleboard.
No, there's too much like hockey shuffleboard. You have to move a disc along the floor.
Chess it is then. Chess in the park.
You could go for the Philadelphia Flyers. There's also like the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, because this was the other one, wasn't it? We were talking at work, and it was like, because the other one you do is the same as you do with NFL. You choose the team that won the Super Bowl or for the NHL, the Stanley Cup on the year you were born. So I went looking, and no matter which way you cut it, because I'm born in the middle, in between, my birthday's in between
seasons,
hockey seasons. On both sides of my birthday, the New York Islanders won the Stanley Cup, and I have to admit, until that day, I had never heard of the New York Islanders, and I really don't want to support them. So I will just watch whatever NHL happens to be on and see who I like watching. I don't know.
It's a bit like how Mark is apparently an Orlando, whatever the football team's called, United fan, because they're the team that he watched play while he was in Florida. Like you're going to see any other teams in Florida. Specifically when you go to Orlando in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, if he'd gone to, I don't know, Miami or something, he'd probably be a Dolphins fan for an NFL.
Yeah. But yeah, me in NHL games, I tried, but no. Just no.
Throw a dart up a map of the North America and then pick the team that's nearest that city.
Yeah, that might be how I have to do it.
You'll probably end up supporting like the Toronto Maple Leafs or the.
Well, see, they're the only other team I can name. So the Red Wings, the Rangers, or the Maple Leafs. They're the only ones I can name, and all three of those. If I went, I'm a Maple Leafs fan, someone would go, it's just because you've heard of them, and
what about
they're
the
a
Canucks?
big team.
Surely you've heard of the Canucks. You've watched How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah, for How I Met Your Mother. Yeah. I know the New York Rangers are through Friends and Will and Grace.
What about the Anaheim Ducks? Everyone knows the Ducks.
Oh yeah, I'll be a Mighty Ducks fan. Because green and silver definitely looks good on me when I wear a jersey.
See,
that's why I'm an Eagles fan.
I kind of feel like I should go for the Wild just because they're from Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my EA NHL career began and ended across a week and didn't really go anywhere. That's it. What have you been playing, mate?
So to counter your abysmal scoring through NHL, I'm gonna go with my hilariously poor attempt at reliving my childhood and playing Crash Bandicoot. Oh my god. On Crash Bandicoot 1, I didn't get off the first island.
Wow.
I think there's like the 2 more missions left. Missions? Like, I don't know, what do you call them? Levels? The 2 levels left on the first island where I got stuck climbing a fucking wall thing. One of the climbing platformers.
Yeah.
I'm right at the fucking top, but every time there's just one section I can't do, and I just kept playing it, and I kept seeing fucking Uka's face telling me it's a game over, and him laughing, that little stupid laugh, and me having to start from the ground again, working my way up, because it's the only advantage is that when you get a run out of lives, you will just reload the fucking level
Yeah.
instead of having to memorize a code to put in to say you're at that level.
Yeah.
But it's just not fun. And I remember that's where I got when I was a kid. Back on Crash Bandicoot, back when I was a little boy playing Crash Bandicoot, my PS1, that's where I got to that level, and I couldn't get any further because of that one section of stupid jumping puzzle. You have to jump over fucking spiky things that move, over a pit of fire, and then have to jump on the top of a dude carrying a shield.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he pushes you back into the fire and or spiky thing.
And you didn't get nowhere then.
No, I decided to stop playing Crash Bandicoot 1. So I thought, I know, I'll play on the Crash Bandicoot game that I know that I can actually play. I played Crash Bandicoot 3.
And how did that go?
I've somewhat given up again. I'm on one of the stupid you have to run towards yourself missions. I'm being chased by a dinosaur. I think it's the second chase.
Oh yeah, and the camera ends up in front of you, and you have to watch it. You're running towards the camera.
Running towards the camera, you have to try and dodge pterodactyls from taking you off the ground, but there's also lava pits that you don't really see. So then you have to try and memorize the route that you're taking, but you only have 7 attempts because you've only earned yourself 7 lives.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much Wumpa fruit and lives that you can pick up from the bonus stage.
Yeah.
So 7 attempts. And that's 7 attempts assuming you haven't fucked up at some point beforehand. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I fucked up
a lot.
beforehand.
Yeah. So you gave up with Crash Bandicoot then?
I'm giving up on Crash Bandicoot. I might stick it on the disc tray again at some point in the future, but I'll probably end up just sending it back to Boomerang.
Yeah.
Who were very kind with their attempts at trying to get it to me in time for my little sister.
Yeah?
Yeah. So they actually asked for my email address to see if they could see a way of getting it to me early.
That's
But luckily,
nice.
I got an email saying that it was on the way, and then Royal Mail fucked me over and didn't deliver it until like the Tuesday. It was like it gets posted to me on the Friday morning,
Yeah.
and then it arrives on Tuesday, just because Royal Mail decided to be bastards about it.
Yeah, Royal Mail do that a lot.
It's only coming from fucking Northampton.
Yeah,
I could walk there and get it.
Recently, especially in Milton Keynes, this will turn into the most boring conversation to listen to on a podcast. But yeah, because I buy a lot of Blu-rays and that from like HMV and Zavvi, and they all come from like Guernsey for tax purposes. And they usually still only take 2 days to get here, which means that when I get the email on a Thursday to say, "Oh, your pre-order has been dispatched," I'm like, woohoo! It'll be here Saturday and I can watch it at the weekend. No, it still doesn't fucking get it till Wednesday because shitty Royal Mail. Like the actual postman is a lovely man, but fuck me, are they slow?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got nothing against the post delivery people that I have come around to here, But the thing is, a piece of mail is coming from Northampton. It's put in a post box, picked up by a postman rather probably. They go grab a big bucket from Northampton, take it back to the Northampton depot, pour it into a machine that then sorts it and says, "Oh, it needs to go to Milton Keynes." It then goes to the Milton Keynes depot.
Don't you just want to email Boomerang and say, "Look, I'll just come get it.
Yeah,
I'll be there in an hour."
It's like 45 minutes and I'll be at your door.
Yeah.
I will pick it up on my way home from work if I have to. I'm halfway there as it is.
Yeah. Oh, bless them. It's nice of them to try, though. I do like Boomerang.
Yeah.
They are really helpful with stuff like that.
Yeah.
A couple of times when I've gone, "Oh shit, I forgot to put this on my list," I'll go, "All right, just let us know your email address and we'll sort it. Don't you worry." Good lads.
Yeah, when they did reply back and said, "Give us your email address, we'll see what we can do." I did tell him, I said, "Look, unless you've got the ability to send someone to drive the game to me,
Yeah.
it's on its fastest possible route. I'm waiting on the Royal Mail now. It's been dispatched."
Yeah.
Because hilariously, I added all 3 formats to. Luckily, now that I have all 3 formats to play on, I just put Crash Bandicoot for all 3 formats in my top 3, set it to top 3.
And just
Send me
send
whichever
something.
Send me whichever one is first available.
Yeah,
and yeah, and Royal Mail fucked it up.
yeah. I completely forgot until yesterday that I actually have a Boomerang account because I haven't used them for ages. I've been playing stuff that I already own. I was like, oh yeah, I got the email saying your subscription has been. Oh shit! I just paid another 15 quid to have Mario Tennis Aces sat on my shelf and not be played. Woohoo!
Nice.
I should maybe send that back. Maybe see if there's a couple of Switch games I can grab for Fright Fest.
Apparently, Captain Toad's supposed to be quite good,
Yeah, Captain Toad's out.
but also you could probably get the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, that'd be a good one actually for Fright Fest, like between films and for in the evenings when I'm back at the hotel and mornings when I'm waiting for the first film to start.
Yeah, because it's like proper classic Donkey Kong. It's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
That's not a bad idea actually. I'm already dreading Fright Fest week after, to be honest, because Fright Fest starts on Thursday, the day before we're recording a podcast. So that's going to be some fucking hella fast editing. But yeah, be a laugh.
So, after our miserable attempts at playing some games, Brooker, you've got some somewhat successful
Yeah.
story regarding
Well, I'm
Darksiders.
about 12 hours into Darksiders 2, which is about 10 hours more than I got into it the first time I played it. So I'm actually doing quests and I'm playing the game and I'm doing stuff. It's okay so far. I don't want to say too much about it until I've actually finished it. I don't know. I've got no fucking idea how far through the game I am. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's an RPG. And it has every RPG mechanic you can think of. Every time you need to do something, it happens in threes. Like every fucking RPG ever. Oh, you need to activate this monster. It needs 3 stones that you need to go find. Oh, you need to fight this bad guy. You need to get 3 things to give to it before it will come and fight you. Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? 3.
Yeah.
Every time. 3. Oh, you need to go collect these 3 things to make a special necklace for you. Oh, just fuck off. That aside, I can live with that. It's just, it gets a bit intolerable. Like the 3rd or 4th time it goes, you must collect 3 of these. And I'm like, oh, up your ass. It's going to take me ages, just because every time it says that, I lose all the will to live. But my biggest problem actually is I'm playing the Definitive Edition on the One X, and mate, it is so badly optimized. It's painful to play in places. Now, it's worse if I system resume the game. So if I leave it running and then turn the Xbox off, come back, switch the Xbox on and just resume into the game, it's unplayable. The frame rate drops to lethally low levels. At one point I was doing absolutely nothing except standing in a lava-filled room watching this lava stuttering about. Like, there was no action going on, I wasn't fighting anything. I was like, this, I can't do this. So now, it sounds like the stupidest complaint ever, but now I have to purposefully make sure that I find somewhere decent to save and then quit out of the game instead of just pausing to come back to it later. It's a crappy complaint because until 2 years ago we all had to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm quite used to not having to do that. But it's okay. The combat's not difficult. I'll be honest, I've dropped it down to easy difficulty, not because it's hard, not even slightly, but because I'm sick of reading through stats on my gear. I don't care what extra buffs I get and what is less of than on this. I just want
it to look pretty.
Well, I want gear that looks cool. So when I see cool looking gear, I want to be able to equip it and not worry that I'm suddenly not going to be able to beat anything up. So I went, fuck it, I'm dropping it down to easy. I stuck it on easy, and then I just wear the gear that I think looks cool. Because, and this was, I think it was called the Maker's Armour. I opened a chest and got one of everything, and I put it all on, and all of a sudden my stats were all the way up, but I looked like I was wearing a cardboard box.
They should definitely have a cosmetic mode in almost all the games that have.
Yeah.
Will give you stats for different types of armor you wear, but definitely just offer a cosmetic mode for the people who aren't interested in their armor being good. They just want it to look nice.
Yeah. Also, and I was. It played on my mind as well. As much as I don't really care about things like achievements and trophies and stuff anymore, when I went to drop it down to easy, it's like, oh, you will only get awarded for your lower difficulty. I'm like, I want the proper rewards. Like, it took me 2 or 3 times I decided I was going to do it before I actually dropped it down to easy. And I was like, you know what, just fuck you. I just want my armour to look cool, and I want to have fun with my game, and yeah, just fuck off.
It just means that the last achievement at the end of the game when you finish it will be you finished on easy and not you finished on easy and medium.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. You know, it's Darksiders. They're not trophy throwing games, so it's not that big a deal. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about Darksiders 2, because like I said, I haven't finished it. I've not even really got an awful lot of story handed to me yet, and this is the bit that frustrates me more than most things actually, is like 12 hours into Darksiders 1, I was near the end, and I was well into the story. As it is, the thing that's keeping me going is a couple of very cool looking emo scythes and death. There's no story so far. I haven't really been told much. We'll see. There's still plenty of time for it to get better, so I will wait for it to get better, I suppose. But yeah, that's me, mate, in Darksiders 2. Hopefully I'll finish it by the next episode.
Don't hold your breath.
Well, I'm not. I don't want to rush through it, but I think if it takes more than 2 more episodes worth of talking, I will probably just give up and watch YouTube videos on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me, mate. What about you? What else have you played?
So, I'm now going to move on to another game that I don't own, and this one is actually one I borrowed off of you.
Yeah, man.
So thanks for that one. It's not a new game. This one is, in fact, a launch title, is it not?
Not quite. It was supposed to be a launch title, but I think it came out about a year later.
So it's a almost launch window title.
Yeah.
Of Infamous Second Son. And I was I was a little concerned that because it was taking me so long to get through it on my first playthrough, that I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to finish it in time for the podcast.
Yeah.
And then after finishing it the first time, I actually managed to go look through the list of trophies and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I could probably platinum this. There's a couple in here that are pretty easy to do, and then finishing the game on expert.
Yeah.
Which
it's quite an easy game to platinum, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's some achievement. There's some of the trophies are a little entertaining to say the least. Like the cough drop one, where you have to do a comet drop on 3 coughing enemies.
Yeah.
Which I probably could have done the first time had I known that was a thing. But it wasn't until I looked into it a bit later on that when you get given the smoke bomb, you literally have 3 enemies that stand underneath you. For you to literally just go, oh, by the way, here's 3 enemies, throw a smoke bomb, and then do a comet drop.
Yeah.
Right now, and you'll get a fucking trophy.
Yeah. Yeah, the trophies for Infamous have always been a bit like that. They've been, obviously, your basics: finish the game, clear the areas, do the collectibles, finish the game on hard.
Finish the game good, finish the game bad.
Good and evil. And there's always, actually, the worst one was the first Infamous. The first Infamous had like types of, I suppose you'd call them combos or moves you could do, and they would kind of depend on what powers you unlocked. But you would have to do successfully, because you'd get extra points for performing these moves. So you would have to successfully get points, or you'd have to get points for successfully doing all of these moves for one of the trophies. And some of them, if you didn't realise that they were a thing until after you finished the game and cleared all the areas, were nigh on impossible. There was one, I think it took me 4 or 5 hours of grinding, literal grinding, up and down train tracks attracting enemies up and down, so I had groups of people to fight.
Oh yeah, I think there was one that was like you have to shock an enemy in the sky that had been bounced by one of your shock grenades.
Yep.
And it's only the garbage men that are actually capable of doing that too, because they're the only ones that don't get killed immediately by the shock grenade when you're that far into the game.
Yep.
So, and I
yeah.
think I found a spawn point for them where they were just constantly just running at me. So I just kept lobbing shock grenades and then launching them in the air and then shocking them to death while they were in the sky.
Yeah. But Second Son, I absolutely loved Second Son. It was.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think to Delsin as a character?
I thought he was a bit of a knob to start with.
Pretty much.
But after a bit of time and after getting to know him as a character and the way that everyone around him was treating him, especially his brother,
Yep.
over some of the stuff.
The fuck was that?
Apparently some guy decided they didn't want to drive at 30 miles per hour down that road.
Jesus.
Either that or he was driving at 30 miles per hour and he just had attached some kind of loudener to his fucking engine. Someone needs a mechanic.
Yeah, quite desperately before something catches on fire.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But with his brother, the way that his brother was acting towards him, especially like the midpoint of the game,
Yeah.
and he's still not accepting of him, of Delsin's being a conduitness.
Yeah.
It's
I do. I like. He is a dick as a character. I kind of dislike him. I think he's a bit of an arsehole. But at the same time, a lot of him being an arsehole is because of his surroundings. It's very X-Men-ish.
yeah.
In as much as the younger mutants in X-Men tended to be arseholes because of the way they were treated by people that weren't mutants. And the same, I mean, it's obvious. Pretty much anybody that's played Infamous, that's pretty much the point of Infamous Second Son, especially in a post-Cole world. You've not finished Infamous 2, have you?
I've not, but I've done the research into it.
Okay, yeah. So in a world where, as canon, there are no more conduits because Cole killed them all, and then killed himself. I think he killed himself. He died anyway.
Yeah.
So in a world where their conduits that do appear are now kind of outcasts, and you know it's almost as poignant now as it was then with the way the world is. But yeah, you can see why he's an arsehole, but he's also just a bit of a fucking dick.
Yeah.
But I don't mind him. I really like Fetch.
Yeah.
Fetch
is pretty cool.
Fetch is a really fun character. I really like Fetch.
It's the minor differences in the game depending on your good side, bad side playthrough. There's not massive amounts of difference in the way that the story progresses or how the main characters treat you.
No, there's not.
It's kind of although there are a couple of moments where I was doing some things as bad Delsin, and I noticed obvious differences against good Delsin, like climbing the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Where you mentioned to Betty on the phone that you can't talk because you're climbing the Space Needle.
Yeah.
And she says, "Fine, if you don't want to talk, and then I won't bother." But versus good Delsin, when you mention it, she says, "Okay, get me a postcard."
Yeah. Yeah, so those little differences... The differences are less noticeable? No. The differences are slightly more minor in Second Son as they are in the original Infamous games.
Yeah.
Like, in Infamous 1, things quite clearly... like, the world reacts to you quite differently.
The lightning you push out is a different colour.
Yeah. And the end of the first one is pretty different depending on what you do. The end of Infamous 2 is wildly different depending on what you choose. Neither ending is actually good at the end of Infamous 2, but both endings are wildly different.
Yeah.
But with Second Son, it's more about being it's more about showing off the console. Obviously, it's supposed to be a launch title and is a launch window title.
Yeah.
So it was more about showing off the console than it was about like refining the karma system.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I wish when I saw the Sucker Punch logo 2 E3s ago, I was kind of hoping for more Infamous. I will take Ghost of Tsushima because it looks fucking amazing, but I was really hoping for more Infamous.
Yeah. With it going on to hits though, it's got a second wave of people picking it up and attacking Sucker Punch for the fact that Paper Trail isn't working.
Paper Trail's online though, isn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
It needs its servers to run. I'm guessing they've taken their servers down.
Well, that's the thing is that I took a look at the Sucker Punch Twitter feed, and apparently, because lots of people had gone to them about it, they said that they've made a contact with a third-party company that runs it
Yeah.
to try and get it back up and running.
Okay.
But whether or not the third-party company actually does is another matter. But it's a bit late now because I don't have Paper Trail. I don't have Infamous either. I've given it back to you because I platinumed it. I literally, as soon as I'd done the last one, which was the 170-meter comet drop.
Yeah.
So I completed on expert, dropped it down to easy to do the hat trick trophy for hitting one enemy with 3 different types of power. So I think I was carrying smoke at the time.
Yeah.
I hit him with a smoke ball, walked over to a neon sign, grabbed the neon, hit him with a neon bolt, and then picked up the concrete off of a random corpse and just killed the enemy.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't actually have that many trophies left when I got to the end of my playthrough. I think it was literally just the hat trick, dropping the 170-meter comet drop.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the First Light game has, if you want to platinum First Light, it's got like challenges in it. Basically there to elongate your playthrough because First Light doesn't take long to play. There's no karma system to First Light, so you can do it all in one playthrough plus cleanup.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually the trophies, I found them quite nicely balanced in Second Son.
Yeah, there was a nice balance of unavoidable trophies to ones that require a little bit of effort, but not a lot. So I got quite a few of them without realizing that they were there. It wasn't until a bit later on, it wasn't until I was near the end of my first playthrough that I actually took a look at the trophies and thought, oh yeah, I could probably do a couple of these. Some of these are quite easily doable, like killing one enemy with a karmic power.
Yeah.
That one was quite funny. I got that. I think I actually ended up getting that one by accident because I wasn't really attempting to do it, even though I knew it was there, and I accidentally pressed the down button instead of up when trying to set off a mission.
Yeah.
And I did the neon karmic power.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it just said enemies killed 1. I was like, oh,
nice.
And trophy.
I
don't think it was an actual enemy. I think it was a camera.
Nice. Also, the karmic powers in Second Son, you do feel like a fucking badass. Once you've got all your powers upgraded and you can flip between all the ones you want, you feel like a legitimate badass. You don't feel like a superhero because you're not supposed to, but you do feel fucking awesome. And every time you get into a battle and you walk out having won, you're like, I fucking rule.
Yeah.
The combat in Infamous is a lot of fun.
Oh, and playing on expert was like the coming out of combat in expert. I actually felt proper badass because I knew for a fact that the number of times I had to either run away or do something just to stop myself from dying.
Yeah.
So to start with, running around with smoke, and I was just looking at it, going, okay, I need to focus because on the normal difficulty, I was just picking up all of the fucking collectibles because it was the way of getting all of the fucking powers.
Yeah.
On expert, I was avoiding combat as much as possible. So if I was seeing collectibles or being forced to do one of the dupe stations and I was getting the 4 out of those, I was being very careful with my picking of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was making sure I was picking the ones that would give me healing powers and the ones that would make it so I was quicker at pulling down the ability.
Yeah.
and that was about it. But I must on normal. When I picked up Neon, I openly said, why would I use anything but Neon? Neon is clearly the best one.
Neon is the best one, and I think
On
this is why we ended up getting a
Yeah,
standalone DLC with Fetch as the playable character.
although saying that, on Expert, I found Video to be the better one.
Video's a lot of fun actually, and it is quite effective. But I did still enjoy using Neon.
I think found Video to be the better option on Expert because it was the easiest one to get away from enemies.
Yeah,
Because it's got the only one that can get you not just away in distance, but also in height, away from enemies
yeah,
quickest. Because Neon, well, you can run quickly away, and you can run up a side of a building.
yeah,
Smoke, you need to find somewhere where you can get yourself up that building.
yeah,
With Video, you just need to pull back on the thumbstick when you dash, and you will launch yourself in the air.
yeah,
And then you can actually keep yourself in the air quite easily with it.
yeah.
Oh, that was the other one. It was the falling for more than 45 seconds. I literally just like spawned in at some random location and just jumped off the top of the building. It wasn't
Yeah.
even that high up because I had Video at the power at the time, and I was literally just pulled back on the thumbstick and held the X button for jump, and I just like slowly descended to the ground.
Yeah.
I think I was in the air for like a minute and a half.
Nice.
It wasn't even a particularly high building. Imagine doing it off the fucking 170-meter drop.
No.
I'd have taken like 5 minutes to get to the ground.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
glad you liked it. I was a bit worried that you wouldn't, because I talk up Infamous a lot. I really like Second Son, but I'm also very aware that I'm, you know, I enjoy a lot of shit that a lot of people really don't.
Yeah. I'm more interested to know which is the canon ending, because they're two very, very different endings.
Yeah, I think the kind of the point there wasn't a canon ending because there wasn't a sequel. It's a bit like no one called the Dead Cole ending of Infamous 2 the canon ending until Second Son was announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment there is no canon ending. It's just an ending.
Well, it's because Infamous One, the endings were not that different,
No.
really. That's why there was no need for a canon ending. It was the beast's coming. That's what Infamous Two is. It's
Yeah.
just here you go. Here is the beast.
Yeah.
After you've just killed.
You.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's been long enough. I think it's okay
Yeah.
to talk about the end of Infamous.
I can't even remember enough about Infamous One. You killed you because you go back in time because you're not strong enough to beat the beast,
Yeah.
and the beast kills your sister or your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So then you go back in time and do that anyway.
Yeah.
So that way you're stronger.
Yeah.
Because you're more willing to be stronger rather than being a little bitch.
Yeah. I wonder if they're available on PS now. I wouldn't mind playing through all four Infamous games actually. 5 if you include Festival of Blood.
I kind of want to play Infamous 2 just because I didn't. I think I owned it,
Yeah.
at least, but I don't think I played it. I think I might have wanted to play it and then just didn't ever get around to it.
I really enjoyed Infamous 2. It wasn't really an improvement. It was just more of the same.
That might have been why I didn't play it, because it took me a long time to play Infamous 1 in the first place, and I just finished Infamous 1 and platinumed it.
Yeah.
So getting around to playing Infamous 2 just seemed like a bit of a...
Yeah.
Didn't
See,
seem
yeah.
like easy to jump onto.
See, for me, it was all about the story. I really enjoyed the Infamous story, so I was happy. And I bought Infamous day one, so there was like 3 years between Infamous 1 and 2 for me.
Yeah.
And then add Prototype in between. So
See, I didn't buy a PS3 until long after Infamous 2 had been out, and
Yeah.
Prototype. Prototype 2 might have even been out by the time I bought my first PS3.
yeah. See,
I think I bought my first PS3 when I was at Walton.
yeah,
I think you probably convinced me.
probably. I was quite the fan of the PS3,
Yeah.
mainly
and
for
then,
Infamous and
then
Killzone.
and then eventually you moved over to the Xbox.
Well, that was more to do with the way
Sony were being a bitch.
Yeah, I hated Sony, and I still do hate Sony's attitude towards their customers. I can't knock their hardware. Their hardware is amazing, but their customer service leaves an awful fucking lot to be desired.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered, talking all this talk about superheroes, I just remembered what the other minor news thing was.
Go on.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance and the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 have been pulled from digital stores.
Really? These are the ones. Are these the ones you just bought in the sale?
Yes.
Okay. How come they've been pulled?
Licensing.
Well, that makes sense.
Activision no longer have a Marvel license.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
So those have been pulled from the digital store. They were the only still for sale Marvel games released by Activision. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's why that they were put on the sale and why Activision made them backwards compatible, or rather they re-released them, remastered them with no actual remastering.
Did Activision release Deadpool?
I don't think so.
I don't remember who released Deadpool the game.
But it might not have been a total licensing of Marvel. It might have been other stuff. So
no, that's just fair enough. I couldn't remember. That was all.
Yeah. Oh no, it's published by Activision, the Deadpool game.
Okay.
So that might not
vanish soon enough then.
Yeah. But maybe that's probably why it went on sale, because they thought that they'll just get the last of their money before they have to pull it.
Yeah, maybe.
And they did get some money out of it because they got mine.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't happy with that, were you?
No. Well, I only paid like a tenner for it, so
yeah.
It was fun to play through games that I played a long time ago.
Yeah. I was quite glad actually that I had no fucking money while the Xbox Ultimate Game Sale was on. Because there were a few there that I fancied picking up, and I was like, thank God I've got no cash.
Yeah. That's the thing, you should look at it and you go, oh yeah, there's a couple of games here that I wouldn't mind picking up. They're dead cheap. But you just have to remember that there's no point picking up games just because they're dead cheap. We have Boomerang for the exact reason that we shouldn't be worried about game sales. If we've not played a game, it's not we need to wait for it to go on sale. It's we just need to wait for Boomerang to send it to us.
Yeah, pretty much.
I probably should have just added those Marvel games to my fucking Boomerang list.
Yeah, maybe.
No. Clearly that's the future. No longer buying games, just boomeranging everything.
Well, I've always said this, haven't I? I've always gone kind of, I'll use Boomerang for most games, and then games that I'm sure I will enjoy, or games that I really want to support, I will buy. So, like, I'll be buying Red Dead, and I'll be buying Darksiders 3. Most other things I will be renting.
Yeah, and then you decided to rent games and then buy the different ones and then regretted that decision immediately.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's bit me a couple of times, but you can't win them all.
No, you can't, and you did want to support the studio that you bought the game from. It just happened to be the game was fucking awful.
The game wasn't awful, the game wasn't Dishonored, and that was the problem. I went in, I bought Prey going, it's from the guy. I had this conversation with my brother the other day as well, because he's a massive Dishonored fan. And he was like, oh, I didn't really get Prey. I was like, was it that you didn't get it? Or was it the fact that you bought a game from the makers of Dishonored, but it wasn't fucking Dishonored? And he was like, it's probably what it was. I mean, for you, it wouldn't have been a problem because you didn't like Dishonored. But for me, a man who loved Dishonored, it didn't sit right. And it is on my list of basically Prey was the reason I started doing my challenge this year. And I probably won't get it finished this year, but I will finish it at some point. Or at this point, restart it and finish it. But yeah, I wish I'd bought Milton Keynes, Mortal Kombat.
Milton Keynes, Mortal Kombat, they're both roughly the same
It's almost
play.
the same thing. Still weirdos in costumes trying to stab you. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's us kind of done.
Yeah.
I don't think we've played anything. We've doubled up on our news even though it's a shitty news week.
Yeah. It's just another one of them weeks, mate.
Yeah. So until we have another really shitty week of nothing happening, Brooker, where can people find you?
Do you not want to do recommendations? Or do you not have one?
Do we? Is, okay, yeah. Recommendations. What have you got?
Hitman.
Hitman?
Hitman went on to Game Pass today.
Okay. I already have it, so I'm guessing.
Well, so do I. But for people that have Game
Yeah.
Pass,
For people that have Game Pass, you can now download Hitman.
you can now play Hitman. They're calling it Hitman Season 1. It's really kind of bugging me because the new Hitman that comes out next month or month after is not called Hitman Season 2. It's Hitman 2, and it's published by a different fucking company.
Yep.
But yeah, Hitman Season 1 is available now on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I will go with, just because it happened right today, so, a couple of days ago, for those of listening, and that's if you've got EA access, you can get the 10-hour trial of Madden 19.
Nice. I shall download that, and maybe I'll talk about that next episode instead of Darksiders.
How you played 10 hours worth of Madden and you got slightly further than you did when you were playing NHL.
Well, to be fair, slightly further would be just past the title screen.
So you actually got past the tutorial. You played one game of Madden.
Yeah. And
There we go.
then my trial ran out.
Yep. Okay, so now, Brooks, where can people find you?
I am on Twitter at Brooker411.
And you're now back on Facebook.
Oh, don't. I hate that I'm there.
I just love how I kind of assumed that you got told off by your in-laws because they couldn't now see you on Facebook or something stupid.
I don't follow my in-laws on Facebook. My father-in-law tried to friend me once, and I was like, "You don't need to see the shit I say." They just don't. No, so I'm kind of in the very early stages of planning another podcast with our mate Tony. The problem is I'll be kind of show running it, which also means running the social media for it, which is great. I can't use the fucking Character Unlock sock puppet account I've just created to do the Character Unlock Facebook stuff while I'm not on Facebook. So, for fuck's sake. And the worst bit is, it happened 2 days after my account was permanently deleted. I couldn't even recover the account that I'd killed. So I basically started a brand new account, and I'm friends with like 8 people, and some of them I'm already fucking regretting, because at least one has put some fucking Tommy Robinson shit on my fucking wall, so I defriended him quite quick.
Nice.
Literally the only reason I'm on Facebook, mate, is to run podcast, social media, and talk to occasional people. Some of the people actually that I knew I'd miss talking to, I can't add them as friends because they've got only friends of friends can add me. So, and I will fine, fuck you then. So yeah, my Facebook page is pretty much non-existent. My wife has tagged me in more stuff than I've actually done in the 4 days that I've had a Facebook account again.
Makes sense. I think that's all my Facebook is now, is just people tagging me in those stupid fucking memes on Facebook.
Pretty much. Yeah, and to be fair, it's only because it was my anniversary. Well, it's my anniversary today, but it was my anniversary day out with the wife yesterday, so that kind of meant a lot of Facebook posts. But yeah, I'm on Facebook, but yeah, don't come find me on Facebook because I don't fucking. I'm not planning on using it for anything outside of podcast, social media stuff.
Yeah, it's a good plan. So, you can find me on Twitter as the John_CU, on Xfix Live as Long Dong Silver. And if you're not interested in us as individuals, we are people too, however, you can follow Character Unlock on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Podbean, our own website. Skywriters occasionally put out our podcasts. Just look up. And that's us done.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Brooks.
Goodbye, mate.
Bye, everyone.